Hi, friends. Today's reading lesson is going to be all focused on Greek roots. If you don't have a piece of paper and a pencil close by, you're going to need to grab one because you're going to need to do a little bit of writing. When you're ready, let's get started. Our lesson's going to look like this today. First, we'll go over our objective and standard. Then we'll look at some common Greek roots. Then we'll look at what our book says about Greek roots. We'll have an I do, we do, you do type practice with the Stephanie Kwolek inventor story. And then we'll just have some general Greek roots practice. Our objective for today says students will be able to use Greek roots and context clues to determine the meanings of unknown words. That's objective goes along with one of our state standards that says fourth graders should be able to apply knowledge of word structure elements, known words, and word patterns to determine meaning. Many English words originate from words in the ancient Greek language. Learning common Greek roots can help us define many other words. 4 common Greek roots are cycle, meaning circular, deca, meaning 10, photo, meaning light, and graph, meaning draw or write. These roots may appear at the beginning, middle, or end of a word. And that's just a very few. There are hundreds of Greek roots. Let's take a look at some more popular Greek roots that you might have seen before. As I'm reading these, I want you to think, have you ever heard a word with one of these Greek roots in it? The first one is bio, meaning life. An example would be the word biology or biography. The next one is chrono, meaning time. An example, chronological or chronicle. The third word, poly or poli, meaning city, like in the word metropolis or metropolis, depending on how you pronounce it, and policy. The fourth one is phone or phon, meaning sound, like in the word phonograph or symphony. Then we have geo, meaning earth, like in the word geography or geology. Aster means star, like in the word asteroid or astronaut. Mim, meaning same, like in mimic or pantomime. Graph, meaning write, like in epigraph or graphite. Morph, meaning shape, like in the word metamorphic or morphology. The last one, lith, meaning stone, like in the word monolith or Paleolithic. Here's what our book says about Greek roots. Greek roots are word parts that come from the Greek language. Knowing the meaning of a Greek root can help you figure out the meaning of a word containing that root. Let me give you an example. From the story, Stephanie Kwolek Inventor, we have the word telephone. The sentence says, some people spent hours on the telephone with the patent office. In that word telephone, the tele part means far off, The phone part means sound. So, what does the word telephone mean? Putting those two roots together, we know that telephone is an invention for hearing sound from far away. Let's try another one. This time, you're going to need that paper and pencil. The next word from the story we're looking at is decade. The text says, after Stephanie's discovery, it took almost a decade of teamwork to develop Kevlar. In the word decade, the Greek root is deca, meaning 10. So, what do you think the word decade means? Write your response on your paper. If deca means 10, decade means what? Pause your screen or video now so you have time to write down what you think decade means. Then turn it back on when you're ready to check to see if you're right. If you knew that deca meant 10, you probably said decade means 10 years, or a period of 10 years, or a span of 10 years, something like that. Let's try another couple of words. The next one in the text is bicycles. The sentence it belongs in says, Kevlar is also used in tires, bicycles, spacecraft, and skis. That word bicycles has the Greek root of cycle, the CYCL, meaning circle. You need to decide, what does the word bicycle mean? If the CYCL means circle, what does bicycle mean? And then the word photograph from another paragraph says, she was inducted into the National Inventors Hall of Fame for her work, and her photograph has appeared on a book cover and in advertisements for Kevlar. The word photograph has the Greek root photo, meaning light. If photo means light, what do you think photograph means? So now you're going to pause your video, write what you think the definition of is for bicycle, if CYCL means circle, and write a definition for photograph, if PHOTO means light. Once you have a definition for bicycle and photograph, turn your video back on and we'll check to see if you were right. If you had a definition similar to this for bicycle, machine with two circular wheels, you are correct. That word bi, or the prefix bi, means two. We've learned that one before. And the cycle, CYCLE, we know means circle. So a bicycle is a machine with two circular wheels. Then we had the word photograph, and we know that photo means light, and we also should know that graph means something to do with writing or drawing. So you might have said photograph is a picture with light. Now let's do some more practice. I'm going to model for you a couple of different questions that you're going to have to answer. First, you will see a piece of text, and then we'll pick a word from the text that has a Greek root, and then you have to decide what you think the Greek root means. The text says, today, modern machines are used to dehydrate meat. Without water, the tiny organisms that cause food to spoil cannot survive. The word dehydrate comes from the Greek root hydra, Hydr, which means what? So make sure you're using context clues. It says modern machines are used to dehydrate meat. Here's that Hydr. That's the Greek root. But what does that mean? The next sentence can give you a clue. It says, without water, the tiny organisms that cause food to spoil cannot survive. So that root, Hydr, hydra, means what? Well, we have without water. If I was to choose this one, I would say the Greek root, Hydr, means water or having to do with water. So if you dehydrate meat, you are taking out the meat because D means to not have something. Let's do another one like that so you'll be ready for your turn to practice. The next one says, a thermostat keeps the inside of a refrigerator at a constant temperature. The word thermostat comes from the Greek root therm, Therme. This suggests that a thermostat measures what? Well, if you read the sentence again, look for a context clue, a connection with that word thermostat. A thermostat keeps the inside of a refrigerator at a constant temperature. So a thermostat measures what? Heat, weight, time, or speed. Well, they talked about that a thermostat keeps the refrigerator at a constant temperature, so it measures the temperature or the heat inside the refrigerator. So A would be the best answer there. Now it's time for some more practice. You're going to have 4 questions in today's Google form that are just like those 2 I just answered or modeled for you. After that, you'll have an IXL skill to practice for Greek and Latin roots. It's skill X2. Once you're done with the IXL, you can come back to this Google form and you will have a vocabulary practice section where you can practice the vocabulary terms from Unit 5, Week 3 that we learned last week. Remember, if you have any questions about today's work or the videos, make sure you bring them to the Google Meet to let me know about them.